Today we're checking out The Wandering Village. This is a game about setting up a colony on the back of this smooth turtle boy. The world has become a post-apocalyptic nightmare filled with toxic spores, and the last few nomads of humanity have found habitation on the back of this nice, smooth boy. So the goal of this game is to enter into a romantic, symbiotic relationship with a giant turtle as a colony of nomads. I think it's a bit of a bizarre and wonderful premise. Big thanks to Strayfawn Studio and Whisper Games for a key to this game. But I've been checking it out, and we're going to look at it more here today on stream. And anyway, it's kind of like we're barnacles living on a whale trying to clean it off, like a symbiotic relationship. Or remora and sharks, I'm told, is another good example of these symbiotic relationships. But we're trying to navigate through this wilderness, and who knows what we'll make it to. I think the goal is to just survive, because as Anvoo, that's the name of the big smooth boy, as he moves around the world, the conditions change on the back of this great beast. Sometimes he'll go to sleep in a patch of poison and we need to defend our colony. We need to earn his trust by feeding him these pellets of food and other things like that. We're going to go try to feed Anvoo right now. I just kind of want to give a little idea of this because we're going to start a new colony. But I just kind of want to see of what we're kind of working toward. So see, here he comes up with his tongue, and there he is. He's getting ready, and yum, 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 yum. There we go. Munch. So he's a nice boy, but we're going to try to gain his trust. And other things are kind of interesting in this game, too. I mean, it's beautiful, the art style. I'm wondering if it really has much replay value, but, like, for example, if you cut off his spikes, you'll get stones, but you'll also kind of lose some of his trust, which means that you won't be able to, help him navigate around the world. So it's kind of a nice, relaxing type of game. But anyway, beautiful art. Feels like playing a storybook. I think I made all my points clear. But I do want to get started on a new game because it may be quite challenging, and there's a big survival element, and I've been playing it on a rather easy difficulty. So we did Novice, where we were getting all the tutorials. It kind of holds your hand, and I think that was good. I'm going to go ahead and turn back on notifications. Safe, familiar territory. Take care of your village as you slowly venture into more. Okay, so I suppose that this is kind of... And we're going to just make this stream file. Here we go. I am not ready for veteran, I guarantee it. But yeah, there's a very quick intro sequence.
We kept wandering.
Not too much story here. This is pretty much it.
Not in our wildest dreams did we imagine what
Like, world turned poison, and then a big boy just woke up. And they were like, let's get on this thick boy's back. And that's pretty much the entire story. And I actually kind of appreciate that, because some of these games will just kind of plague it all with just tons of story, and it becomes too much, you know what I mean? Anyway, here we are. We're at the start. Anvoo's at, go. Basically, we've just collected $200 if this is Monopoly. How did they climb up here? The question has come up. No one knows how they climbed up here. Maybe they'll have, Spider-Man powers. But we have all of these resources on Anvoo's back. Now, these are native stones, but we don't want to cut off too many of his spikes because Anvoo doesn't really have our trust yet. We may be living on his back, but he's just, sort of okay with this. Now, he will start to, shake his back and destroy our buildings over time. So, kind of want to be careful with this. There's also limited buildings, we want to build our horn blower near his head so that we could talk to him, and the trebuchet to launch food at him, so we are kind of considering all of that workflow stuff, so I think I'm going to build my initial village right around here, and then the farms over in this section, because there is kind of a workflow we gotta get going. Let's go ahead and just harvest everything from out of here to get it all out of our way. We're gonna need a lot of wood and stuff like that. I'm not gonna go through too many tutorials here. Do we have any bushes? That is unfortunate. It's not really... Okay, we do have one patch of bushes up here, which we may be able to forage, and I just want to set out a few things before we really get underway. I think I'm going to do our tents. Our people will sleep in tents. This is kind of good at a centralized location in your village. I think, just because they seem to come back and forth here whenever they finish a task. So let's go ahead and put this... And we're going to need quite a lot of tents because we're going to be picking up nomads, and you really are limited by the number of people you have in your village in this game. So I think I'm just going to make, really an excessive number of homes here. We can just delete that, and we'll put one of these. Whoops-a-daisy, whoops-a-daisy. We'll put that there. Okay, and then I think I'm also going to do like just a couple of dirt roads just around this because I really wasn't very organized the first time, and I just want to make sure I get started off on the right foot. I know when I'm streaming I can get kind of like a little bit scatterbrained, admittedly, so let's give this a try. They have all of their crap, and here they go carrying off the logs. What's the difference of the brown and the green patch? So the green patches can be farmed with the soil. So I want to save all of that soil for tilling. It is kind of one of those what you see is what you get colony builders, so you've got a good, robust colony builder at the foundation of this game. But here they go with wood. How many people do you start with? How many people do we start with? We got 16 people, but it's pretty easy to pick up nomads. They'll come up as we go along the map. I think that this game is very accessible, and like yet it also, you can get underneath the hood and enough things. So Anvoo is just kind of lying here right now, but later on he will wake up. We can sort of command him once we gain his trust. Are we a parasite for the... It's sort of like kind of a neutral relationship right now, but eventually Anvoo is going to have these other needs. If Anvoo falls asleep in a poison patch, he'll start to get poisoned. Maybe something will hurt him. I haven't really heard Anvoo yet, but maybe he'll get hungry and he can't find any food, and then we need to grow mushrooms on his back to feed him. So he's got like a good number of interactions, but it's going to take us a little while. Like we're pretty much just going to be in colony setup mode here at the beginning. I want to make sure I don't miss out on too much because, okay, so let's just set out this area for housing. And the other thing I want to make sure I get down is just food production right away. Food production and like kind of a stockpile zone here in the middle. So I think I'm just going to go with material storage right here. I hope that this is enough room for houses. Actually, let's just put this somewhere slightly above it because I found that I had way too much room for farming the last time. We'll do a material storage. We'll do a water tank. And I'm just going to leave space between all of these things for roads. I've been told that this isn't always a good idea, and I get it. Like, you know, too much space between all of your things. But also, too, I figure if I can put in roads between them all, it's kind of like visually separate everything out, you know. Maybe formulate it all into, like, grids. That'll keep me organized for later on, so I'm just going to give that a try. I could always fill in more tents, too. What kind of mushrooms? I don't know, like, shiitake mushrooms. The only mushrooms that matter, right? Yeah, something like that. Anyone catch my Spy Kids reference? Still relevant in 2022. Now we have a lot of laborers because we need that. We've got harvesting. This is like a fairly light prioritization system going on in this game. We got our storages over here. I think at this point, we'll do the worker management up here, and we'll just start to build our way up toward the foraging and the farming. Hey, Quaglon, how are you doing, my brother? I haven't been up North Carolina way, but I've been missing that. Hope you're doing well up there, man. Thanks for the 9 months. Jeez, hope your life is going well. How is it going? Everybody say hi to streamer and nice guy friend Quaglon. Now I'm going to try to avoid harming Anvoo's spikes this time and just go with normal rocks, because I did this the last time, but it did okay. Oh, you're moving. I hope you're moving more toward me, because I like you. I do like where you live, where you're at, though. Okay, now we've got, you've probably noticed already that there's all of this impassable stuff. A lot of this stuff needs to be researched later on, which is why we're getting up research, obviously. In fact, I don't think I'm going to need quite this many houses right now, so let's just take some of these down, only because housing tends to be a major time sink, because I know Anvoo's going to shake his back a lot, because he's a wild boy. We can't really interact with him much yet, so like I said, we're just sort of building our village. I think one of my favorite parts of this game is the way that you can just kind of zoom in and out. You see it like it's a big chessboard. Or not really chess, just a board game. And then you can kind of zoom out here and you still see your villagers working. You could change the speed of time, or you could just get in and then look at it like kind of two-dimensionally. I don't know, just a really visually neat game, and I thought it was very beautiful. Peace, love. I don't know, like, Anvoo hasn't really done much yet, but he will start to get dialogues over here, so keep your eye on the lower left of the screen, because sometimes he'll defecate, and we can use that for fertilizer if we have a thing built, but what we're more probably just going to see is that he's going to shake his back and destroy all our buildings at the beginning. So right now our workers are pretty much all laborers. Are they even bringing back the goods? They don't actually have enough wood, so they aren't doing this, which is why I say wood is so important to just harvest it all. So I'm going to give them more tasks like this. Yep, it's pretty much just wood that they're lacking. They've delivered all of that. Tear down the forest, people. Now, I haven't seen the villagers, like, mate and reproduce. I can't tell if they're male or female or what they are. They seem to have very simple needs. You get a name, but that's pretty much it. Like, their name and their happiness and whether or not they're poisoned. There we go. Getting in more wood. Nice wood boy, wood boy. Now we have a wood storage going. I think we're going to keep designating yet even more of this great beast's back to harvest. No, he doesn't seem to get upset when I do things like take off the trees. That's kind of like a haircut, you know? But it's just the spikes that he doesn't like. Okay, so we've got water tank going. One thing I just forgot really quick is water. Obviously. So we're going to go ahead and get an air well here. And I guess we'll put this near to our water tank. I should have thought this through just a little bit more, but can I still do it here? Yeah, okay, so let's get that material storage over there. Try to keep things, like, nice and well laid out. So the pantry... Pantry is going to be for food, and I think we're going to have our food, like, around up here. Because we've got berries, we'll be gathering the berries, and then we'll probably want farms up there. So let's just move the pantry this away. And then instead, we'll put the water... Now, we need an air well. We need to gather... This is going to sound crazy, but we need to gather water from the air itself via humidification or something like that. Science, you know? So this should be enough for these people, but we want to minimize the amount that they're walking, because you can get all of this walking between fields and kitchens and farms and so on and so forth. The hornblower is a little bit later on, but let's get the kitchen right now. That way we can start to cook food. And the other thing I'm going to start to get up is, let's get a berry gatherer, because they do use this for food. If we can locate this near a lot of these bushes, that would be nice. Efficiency 89%, that seems pretty good to me. So let's do that. Lots of berry bushes around there. I haven't been able to, like, transplant these, but that would be nice. Okay. This being has awoken. So now Anvoo, after the first night, is going to kind of start walking through the world. We've got some nomads we're going to pick up here, so we'll probably get about, I don't know, 5 to 7 new villagers, which is quite nice, because everyone's pretty much limited to their own job when they start. We want to influence Anvoo a little bit more, because, like, probably the hardest thing I've had so far is Anvoo going to sleep in a toxic patch of spores, which, like I said, was not really very much fun. Because all of my villagers became diseased, and so did Anvoo. He doesn't have much common sense, this boy. Let's go ahead and start. Or we'll keep on chopping down all the forests. He doesn't really mind a little bit of deforestation. Here we go. Get all of this. It does get a little bit grindy at times, though, too. I'll say that. Like, I wanted my villagers to be able to have more than one job, so that's something that they seem to be limited in that way. I've got 2 people on research. We've got 2 people on the worker... Or, well, actually, we can just manage general workers, builders, carriers, harvesters. This is a decent building. But I almost just wish we didn't have to build it and we could just manage it ourselves. Get the pantry up. We might even get multiple of those. Let's go ahead and get more roads. We want to keep everything nice and connected. Do they really move faster on these roads, though? It seems by maybe a bit, so I'll allow it. Now, I think once I take this thing down, I'm going to start to build a farm over here, if we have a chance. Berry gatherer, yeah, we'll do a farm, like, maybe right here. Because the farm, although it has this big radius for plots, they really don't seem to go much further out than 2 or 3 of these. So I think it's completely fine to just do this. Let's get it real close to the food pantry. Yeah, something like that. Alright, so now we're going to be feeding our villagers. Right now you might notice that we have some food, but, like, we're on a very negative flow here because, well, we aren't making any food. Research. We do have our research going. Now, if I were playing this on the easier difficulty, I would start to get, like, little tutorial bits as this came up. I think that was useful, but... man, I feel like there's just so much information on this game. I feel very, like... pedagogical when I'm playing it. Does it seem like there's a lot, and yet at no point in this game have I felt overwhelmed by the amount of information. Maybe it's just due to like the very nice ambience of the game. I just feel very relaxed when I play it. I haven't felt stressed. Because sometimes these colony managers can feel like keeping track of so many things at once, but it feels rather obvious to me what the conflict is, what we're trying to do. Like, it's a survival colony manager, right? I know, that's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Okay, so we've got material storage over here. Let's go ahead and do a carpenter boy. Like, maybe this away. We'll leave some space for more houses. But yeah, maybe something like that. Carpenter boy. And maybe stonecutter boy. Over here. And we'll just leave some space for another road. I want it to look like I had some idea of what I was doing. Oh, oops, there we are. Good. Noom road. Worker post tent. I'm just kind of like checking off one of each box. Like, there are more structures in this game, but it's simple enough that you can just build one of everything at the beginning. Okay, so now we have reached an impasse. Don't forget the nomads. Oh, yes, thank you for saying that. Ah, I forgot about this. Thank God. Thank God I have you here to keep track of me. Now, how many nomads are there? We will commit them, yes, obviously. We get, okay, 3 nomads. Now, they can be unhealthy and poisoned. But yeah, it's kind of a small prompt up here that says you've reached an event. Now, we are passing through a larger area, and when we get an expedition building, we can start to send people out to, like, scavenge these resources. It a little bit feels like surviving Mars in that way. You know how you can, like, harvest the passing asteroid? But it is there. Other thing up here, too, is you got your resources. This menu will keep growing as the game goes on. Let me see. Have we got the kitchen yet? I don't believe we do. Okay, so no, we can't really make any specialized foods. But yeah, we've got berry boys gathering the berries. I'm actually probably going to limit this to just one guy in time, because this is too much for 2 people. Maybe. Anyway, farms. Once we get the farm up, we'll do that. Now, here I think there is a small, like, workflow management debacle in this game, which is just that it's a bit hands-on managing all of your workers, and I'm wondering how it's going to scale with bigger villages. So that's a thought, only because, like, these 2 farmers will just kind of sit here idly once they're done with their farming, even if there's other tasks to be completed in the village. So I don't know, I feel like that would be kind of an interesting thing to see if they allowed some of that in the game. But otherwise, just try to get a lot of nomads, and the worker system is pretty simple, so it's nice in that way. Now, these guys who are just vibrating some berries, I think are eating them. We don't get too much feedback on our workers, like their happiness. I think we just have to make meals out of this, so we're going to need a kitchen, so we're a little bit behind, but yeah, that's a thought. They aren't super high maintenance. Yeah, like a little bit like Timberborn, actually. I hadn't thought of Timberborn, yeah, but that's a good game to bring up. Now, so here we've reached sort of an impasse. You know, it's like, we have too many, I would say, too many people may be researching. We have too many people collecting berries. And 2 farmers seems pretty good. But I want to make sure that I have more people around who can do the important job of actually harvesting the trees. Are they doing this? Oh, no, they are. Never mind. I take it back. Actually, those people who aren't idle are just at a different hut. All right, I will put 1 more person back onto research then, because research is going to lead the way. Technology, man. Moenfels, thank you very much for the 3 months. Worker system is a little bit like Banished. I don't really remember Banished worker system, but it's simple enough that it's not crazy, too. Village Doctor would be useful, but I think... I don't really want either of these right now. Can we do a 3rd research? Or are those just the 2 suggested? I don't really think I want that either. Maybe Anvoo. I want to start working on interacting with Anvoo. I think a hornblower would be good, just to start getting that going. Really, I would like to do the Anvoo kitchen first, because we don't have Anvoo's commands. Or trust, rather. Actually, we'll go village doctor, only because if Anvoo goes to sleep in a poison patch before we trust him, we're just going to have to try to stay alive on his back. So what are we getting to? A feeding spot for Anvoo. Hopefully Anvoo will just feed himself. I haven't had Anvoo just die yet. That would be pretty bad, but... I mean, honestly, that would be kind of funny. Like, just the game ends. Anvoo died. The end. Okay, is this berry... Okay, we aren't actually harvesting this berry bush, so I'm going to say screw this berry bush. I'm going to build a kitchen here. Now, what I might end up doing is... Ah, darn it. Actually, that would take one of them up. Okay, then I'm just going to put it right next to that. That way they can put the food right into the pantry. Good. Now, I'm probably going to start to get another farm up over here. Or maybe even another kitchen. Wait a minute. What can they grow? We're growing beets right now. Maybe I need another kitchen because sometimes I've found that it's been useful to have one kitchen that works with beets and another one that works with these berries. Because it seems to me that kitchens can produce one type of food at a time, which is a little bizarre. Like, I would like it to be able to do two. If what I have observed is correct. But yeah, there it is. Hey, Opheliax, thanks for coming out to the stream. Other Anvoo that will fight Anvoo. I haven't seen any other like large gargantuan creatures yet in the game, and there doesn't appear to be any fighting in the game. It's just sort of like survival without the fighting. Kind of like in Timberborn, you're just fighting the drought. Like, you don't want all of your beavers to die. God forbid that your beavers should die. But here we go. I'm going to start to prepare for Anvoo here. Maybe by getting... I want to have this mycologist somewhere near to where I'm going to be putting the food trebuchet. So the food trebuchet needs to be at the front of Anvoo's shell. So, I don't know, maybe I could have done more of my colony stuff back here. But I also want it to be not so far away from this either. Yeah, it's a real trade-off with space. But I simply don't think I have enough dirt here. So let's go ahead. We'll just put a mycologist right down here-ish.
You got me into game streams and back into gaming. RimWorld is one of my faves now. Thanks,
Hey.
Double A.
Hey, Roscoe Frosto. Happy the videos and the streams helped you enjoy more of RimWorld and anything else you're enjoying. That's a win, I think. That's a win. I hope you enjoy. I don't know, though. Everyone kind of comes to the videos for, you know, like maybe your soulmate. Maybe you just lost your soulmate or something like that. And maybe a video will help you get find a new soulmate or something. I don't know. I hope it helps you with whatever it is. All right. I'll go ahead and say this. Well, I'm going to help myself here. So one thing I'm thinking is that a lot of this game, a little bit is starting to feel like to me, though, when do I build the next thing? Like, this feels very much like my last playthrough. So that's why I kind of think of this game as like a one, like you have a really good time when you play it once, and then maybe you bump up the difficulty. But I'm trying to see if there's any replay here. So, well, let's get some medical use here. Because we do have to take care of our villagers, and the difficulty, I am led to believe, is going to be slightly harder. So I don't believe that the doctor really needs to be in the center of our village, and I think we could just put him over here. We want to make a little bit more room for housing. We have very high housing demand anyway, rough market. But here we go. Let's go ahead and put this here, herbalist, and then maybe we'll put the doctor over here-ish. But there are many new structures to discover. And I haven't really figured out the exact perfect colony layout. So let's just keep things open, keep things efficient as we go along. Maybe we'll find something that'll fit here. Another kitchen. Okay, so now we're getting to something that is a very interesting. Now, we need to start processing more resources because we need these processed stone slabs and the wooden planks and whatnot. And so we just aren't making enough of these. So I'm going to assign more people to those jobs so we can get those ready. Here we go. Processed stuff. Now, another thing I'm probably going to go ahead and do is just, let's say, harvest all of this stuff over here so that any laborers are going to make these big, long trips to get this stone, because I don't want to erode Anvoo's trust. I've realized that Anvoo is very distrusting as a smooth boy. Other people have tried to rough his smooth roll, but I don't want to do that. So I'm just going to get these normal rocks. Hey, Peringles, thanks for coming out. I guess we'll do a scavenger hut, because again, I think it's going to be a little while before I can really meaningfully get any action in with Anvoo. Now, we would be able to influence Anvoo, whether Anvoo goes north or south here, but I simply don't think we can. Number one, we don't have any hornblowers built, and number two, we haven't built up any trust yet. Okay, so I've been talking about trust. So how do we build up trust with Anvoo? Well, if we take good care of Anvoo, if Anvoo gets poisoned and we cure Anvoo, which we can do. Here we go. We've got some mycologists happening. What is this? Do we just not have enough people? No plot assigned. Okay, so we do have the people. I have to agree with you. Hey, John Pants. Hey, and also KXZ. Thank you for the year. Thank you very much, KXZ. And John Pants for the 2 months. And so here we're getting this sort of like plot stuff going on. And you bring out water. We really do need water for a lot of stuff. I wonder if we're going to need to make another one of these air wells. I mean, obviously it seems that we will in time. 150% production speed. So now I'm going to go ahead and just talk a little bit more about the environment. Am I going to try out Manor Lords? I haven't tried that, but I'll write it down. I was thinking the next stream we would do clan folk. Thank you for that. So, anyway.
Day 541. It has been so long now and I haven't yet answered the question. Is he a frog? Is he a toad? Or is he something else?
And now I'm getting all these frog and toad memes. Everyone read frog and toad? Hey, thank you, Thunder. Now, another thing that we've got going on in this game is we've got like the resource and the environment systems going on. So we've got fresh air, free from any toxins. So we're in a very nice environment right now. We want Anvoo to sleep in the Anvoo sleeping spot because, well, it's just nice here and there's no poison. But also, too, like, we want to be careful here because sometimes, yeah, good, Anvoo's, yeah, rub your face on the ground like that. That's nice. Are you a sleepy boy? Yeah, 72%. Yeah, good. Have a nice relax there. There you go. Good job. Unaffected by poison, looks comfortable for Anvoo to sleep in. Yes, so Anvoo's started sleeping. We can kind of goad him into lying down, but for right now, we're good. Okay, so we're starting to get a decent flow of food. We aren't poisoned. There's decent humidity in the air. It's not very dry, not arid. Good. I mean, this is a very decent place for getting our colony started, but we are getting a few hungry colonists, which is the thought. Go ahead and get some plots in for these herbalists. Something like that. It's a good thing that we didn't build there too much. I'll give that a little bit more time. I just want to see how this herbalist does here. One herbalist isn't plenty. I don't even think that we need 2 mycologists. Actually, it wouldn't hurt to start saving up mushrooms right now because it did take quite a while. Okay, so we want to put the village doctor by the herbalist. And now I may start to cut off some of Anvoo's spikes if I just feel like they're getting in the way. But for now, we'll just try to build around them again. Maybe we'll cut off like all of the spikes at once and really piss Anvoo off. Wouldn't that be exciting? Hey, Bobby Lightweight, Porcelette, and G-Shar. Thank you very much for the subs. Has anyone who is a pro at the Wandering Village noticed anything that we aren't doing yet and I should do and I'm being kind of a smooth-brained boy about? Water tank. I think we pretty much have one of everything, no. I'm just trying to think of other stuff we could do to speed up our, well, mainly it's about worker acquisition and we've got, well, we've picked up all the, oh, they're good. There are no more nomads over there. We really do need those people for this type of thing. Research tree. We've got the scavenger hut. Good, we're at 99% on the scavenger hut. So, huzzah, good. I don't think we need cacti. Alternative water source in hot climates, though. Okay. Honestly, maybe like a good emergency thing to have. I'll do that. It's a little bit boring of me, but it's important. Now I want to show you this. So, basically, we need to send people out on expeditions if we can't find the right resources. There's some research trees we need to go raid a shrine or something. And we send these people off on the side of Anvoo's back. So we can't build in these X areas. We can't build in the middle. But they need to be kind of near their drop-off point. I thought that was kind of a nice touch. Lends it a thematic
Awesome
air
content.
to the whole game.
Thanks, man. Slightly smiling face.
Hey, thank you for that slight smile. I appreciate that. I haven't seen anyone get a whole emoji through yet. Hey, Dracoman, thank you very much. Hope you've enjoyed. And since you're slightly... I like the names of emoji. They're very funny. Upside down smiling face. You always know it's a good time whenever somebody sends you an upside down smiling face. Alright, so we've got the herbs going on. I don't think that we need 2 village doctors, though, and in fact, right now, no one is sick, so I'm going to just deactivate the village doctor. Once we get into a toxic area, I'll reactivate it. I'm thinking at this point in time, survival needs, our village is pretty well taken care of. Let's just check out our food workflow
Share
management that we've got going
notification
on.
won't go away till I speak. So here are the words
We
of a
do this.
lurker.
Poetry. Viking Haven, thank you very much for the sub. I'm thinking I'm going to assign a 3rd farmer. We have good... Yes, that's right. You thought it couldn't be done, but I'm assigning that 3rd farmer right now. Are we making enough water for all the farm plots we've got going? Methinks possibly no, because we aren't really at full cap. So let's go ahead and do... Where is it? Where is it located? Village Doctor. Is it under food? Airwell. Yeah, here we go. Is anyone getting like some oxygen not included vibes from this game too? Definitely getting that vibe here. Okay, so our kitchen is making berry muesli. Muesli? I don't know. I've never heard this word pronounced aloud. I've only read it here. But we also have beet soup. It bothers me that I can't just have both, depending upon what is available in one location. But sometimes that's just the way it is. So what I think I'm going to go ahead and do for this playthrough is to just... Like, I'm going to build a 2nd kitchen. I know, I might go to hell for this. But, I mean, like... I need somebody else producing something different, to be completely honest with you. It's a decent amount of food workflow we got going, though. We'll get the beets in here. Beets by Dre. You think Dr. Dre could, like, launch his own brand of non-GMO farm foods? Beets by Dre. Man, I'm on a roll today. What a great idea that was. Let's see. Did we didn't research. Did we? Oh, we got a cactus plantation. Whoops. I didn't mean to do that. All right, let's get the horn blower. Oh, nomads. Thank you. I almost missed the nomads. I was so hype about my joke with Beats by Dre. Surprisingly, Anvoo has evacuated its bowels, but Anvoo has not shaken his back yet, which might be related to trust. I'm not sure. Anvoo so far hasn't been annoyed with us. That's good. All right, I guess keeping trust high was good. That was a good idea. It's very smart of me. Stonecutter here. I don't think I've gone into too many of the other menus. It's fairly simple. Research, deconstruction, building is priorities, and this is harvesting. But harvest, it's all very obvious hotkeys. B for build, H for harvest. And harvest just works on everything. A little bit RimWorld, but I'm okay with that. Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. Now, are these people bringing back all the resources I need, though? Like, there's stone over there that has yet to be harvested. Let's go ahead and take some people off of these refining jobs, just because I'm not finding myself needing them as much as I thought I would. I have a little bit of need for them, but not too much. Now, this is... As I said, I think my issue with this game's worker prioritization system is just the fact that I would like more people to do stuff, or like here I accidentally had 2 people on scavenging. Let's go ahead and open the map, and I'll show you how we do a scavenging mission. So you could send a party out to go get like wood or stone or something like that. And however far away it is from Anvoo, it'll take them that much longer. So let's go try to do an expedition party. Scavenge some stone. Now, I was always worried that these guys wouldn't be able to catch back up to Anvoo because, like, look, Anvoo is moving away, but I don't think that's related. Getting some RimWorld vibes from the soundtrack. Actually, yeah, to be fair. It's neat that it's such a different place, but... Oh, I hadn't really thought of that. That's funny. Awaiting decision, large quarry. So we've got to decide now. Alright, I actually haven't had one of these events happen yet. Let's find out. Petrified footprints of an Anvoo several meters deep mark the surroundings of the quarry. Okay. See where the tracks lead us. After walking for miles, they find a huge pile of ancient hardened excrement. It's probably still a great fertilizer. Okay, so we got a lot of doo-doo. Alright, but we scavenged that. We could keep sending people out to scavenge. We've got more nomads coming up. More like yes-mads. God. That's so funny. Alright, anyway, I guess I'll just keep sending out these scavengers. A little bit micromanagey, but I don't know what else we're going to do, and I want to make some use of the area map. I think that would be nice. We got stone. No, we just found poop over there. So that was it. That was a very good joke, wasn't it, chat? Wasn't it? Oh, God. I should give up streaming and become a comedian. Beats on the farm. Beats on the farm. Oh, here he goes, rubbing. Anvoo has been a very, like, nice boy for this entire time. Now, time does go by pretty fast, but we also want to feed Anvoo because Anvoo has so far done a crap job of feeding himself. We've got a heat wave coming up. Meteorology. Let's go ahead and see if we can start to interact with Anvoo at all, though. Anvoo interaction. Not really. So we've got a little bit of research going. We're trying to get the hornblower. We want to get Anvoo's kitchen and Anvoo's feeding trebuchet ready. If Anvoo doesn't find any food, Anvoo's going to be a really hungry boy by the time that we get back. And I haven't had Anvoo at 100% hunger yet. So I'm a little bit concerned that he might start devouring us. So that's a thought. Okay, good. We've got this. Oh, good. We've got all of this crap in the inventory. So they did get some wood out of there. That's nice. That's very nice to see. I guess we'll just keep on sending people out, because I was wondering, like, what happens if we just run out of resources on his back. I guess this is why you really want to focus on your expedition party, just so that, well, just so that you don't run out of trees or whatever it is you're using on his back. But I will go ahead and let's just harvest some more of these close rocks. Be nice to Anvoo. No, we're not going to cut off your spikes, Anvoo. We want you to keep your spikes up there, even though they're in the way of everything. Yeah, that's fine. Good. They have a good source of stone. Work harder, everyone. Yeah, maybe, like, create a cult for Anvoo. Not a bad idea. Anvoo might appreciate that. Anvoo might appreciate that. How's it coming along with the research, boys? Think faster. Think faster. I guess we'll put one more person on the stone slabs because we seem to need a lot of those. We do be using those. Keep the village doctor at us. Now, are they good? They are supplying this, so now we're getting herbs ready to help Anvoo and us, but probably us more just because Anvoo is probably going to, like, basically poison us all at some point. Accidentally. You wouldn't do that. You wouldn't mean to do that, would you, boy? I love the way that this game transitions between 2 and 3D so fast. Alright, so let's get a hornblower. Now what we're probably going to be doing is going from the mycology department to a kitchen up here, and then we'll have a trebuchet somewhere up here. So I think we can be pretty safe putting over this hornblower. It's funny to say hornblower. Actually not there at all. I need room for a road. There we go. Wasn't Hornblower the name of one of the Hobbit families in Lord of the Rings? Like the Proudfoots and the Hornblowers? They all had silly names that were fun to say. Kind of like running my own Hobbiton. Now we've got 2 kitchens, one that does berries and one that does some other stuff. Are we really, like, Are we out of berries? No, we're not out of berries. That's good. I could potentially get another berry gatherer, but I think I'll just keep that work slot empty. Get a good number of meals. Okay, and everything's horrible now. Okay, so we seem to have entered the desert. Heat wave. Oh, we'll get through this quite fast, so that's good. But, yeah, we should probably not be able to get very much water here. So this was the reason for cacti. So we might as well grow some of these, I suppose. But it's just like, how much is going to be too much? Are we going to run out of... Scavenger hunt. Where are the cacti? I didn't grow cacti before. Oh, maybe they're just on a regular farm. Ah, I see. So beets or cacti are our options. Well, how now, brown cow? Okay. I'm thinking if we have the kitchen here, we could have a backup cactus area here. We won't hurt Anvoo, though. Am I planning on doing a YouTube video for this game? Probably just a VOD for now. Yeah, probably not a video. I don't know. It's been taking me a long time to make my videos lately. I've really been enjoying it, but it takes me about like a full week of concentrating on them. Okay, here we go. We got nomads. Here we go. I just kind of think of these as two separate things, like the streaming. Like the streams are kind of where I try stuff out. And then, okay, good. So now we can tell Anvoo to do stuff. I don't think Anvoo will do any of this. And we are in like an arid area, so I want to... Well, let's see if we can tell him to speed up. I doubt that he'll trust us at all, but let's try. Doesn't trust my commands, so... I don't know if this actually has a negative effect, like trying to get Anvoo to do something, but... I'm assuming no. Because he didn't get really bad, and I did command him to do a lot of stuff that he didn't do the last time. Let's go ahead. We'll do cacti. And we'll just do this. There we go. But I want to be really nice to Anvoo. Yeah, be really nice. Or else we all might die in a heap. Okay, we're getting 0% production here. We have almost no water left. We're running out of food. That's not good. But good, we are getting the cacti around. And is that going to just be a theme for this entire desert area? Yeah, so I guess it's a good thing that we did that. I thought it was just that one area. Darn it. Okay, we'll get those cacti up and bouncing around. Flying around. Hey, Cesaria, thank you for the bits. If we play the wrong song on the horn, he'll shake us off. I don't know if is that true? No water and go to the desert. Yeah, I know, I should have got the cacti earlier, but at least we have the cacti research. It's not like we're now trying to research the cacti too, which would have been god-awful and bad. But if we could just tell Anvoo to speed the hell up, hopefully Anvoo won't go to sleep here. Now, Anvoo is not very sleepy, but both ways, it's desert. We just aren't getting any water. I hadn't perceived this as a threat. Corn is very heat resistant and requires little water, but grows slowly. Okay, so corn might be good, and I think let's commit to that before we commit to feeding Anvoo, because now we have a new crisis at our survival. Now, no one's dead or dying yet, but... Well, this isn't good. That's all I can say. Are they growing any beets? We're getting 0% growth on the beets, so let's take our farmers away from here. Now, this is a little bit why I wish that the worker distribution system just worked as like generalized farmers. Let's put more people onto berry gathering, because the berries seem to be doing fine here. The berry reproduction. Go ahead and have them harvest this. Harvest these berries as well. But yet, I still find myself having to individually gather every single berry. So, I mean, obviously you can see that, like, there's a couple of things that I wish would be a little bit more efficient in this game, but so be it. That's how it is. Good, we did get water out of this cactus, because as you know, all cacti yield water. You can just sip out of them. It's like a sink. Oh, but good. They're bringing it over to the farm, and the farm is bringing it over to the ground, and the ground is bringing out the beets by dray. Excellent. Okay, good. They just need to put that water, squish that cat, put that water into the ground. Ah, and it looks like we are returning to a completely normal spot after this, hopefully, unless if Anvoo goes not the way that I want Anvoo to go, which usually Anvoo will do the thing that I don't want Anvoo to do. It's very upsetting for me. Anvoo seems unsure about which path to take at the upcoming crossroads. Now, Anvoo has been known to have many existential crises which have cost the lives of the small people who live on his back. Yes, completely true about cacti. You could just drink out of one. What is this? A dune with sand on it? I don't know if that's important. I mean, I'm basically screwed though, so yeah, Anvoo didn't go the way that I wanted Anvoo to go, so let's this is gonna take only 2 hours. I guess we'll find out what's at the dune. Now there are like knowledge items that you may need later on. Anvoo's also getting very hungry too. Anvoo, you've made so far all of the wrong decisions. You'll go to hell in a handbasket. Wandering across the desert, dry desert plains, your scavengers encounter. That's from another tribe. They want to start a new settlement. Ask you to help them build a fountain if there's no water nearby. Okay, oh, okay. So we trade stone slabs for, nomads. Yeah, I'll take more nomads. We need more people doing jobs. 8 healthy people have joined, and we get more water! Hey! Hey, very interesting. Now, where did these wanderers come in from? A little bit, I want these people to have more personality, you know? Oh, the water is over there. I wonder if we can put that into the more generic storage. Like, will they go over here and grab the water? Let's just see. We've got workers coming in. Good. And yes, they appear to be taking out the water from the stairway. Good. Excellent. Excellent. All right, I'd say that water production is fine at this point in time. How far along are we on the research? I've got, well, we were growing corn because everyone was starting to starve to death, and that is rather urgent. I suppose that after that we'll address Anvoo's growingly, perhaps fatalistic hunger. Because we might need to give him a pellet or something, because right now, Anvoo is seeming slightly self-destructive. Like, he's just kind of romping into the desert without any desire for food. This is a bit worrying. Just made the dung collector and composter so I get the biogas that is used by decontaminators to burn away poison plants. Now, I was thinking, yes, you're right. I was thinking that poison would be my main conflict here, but I have so far not experienced the dry, chapped lips brought about by the desert that we have. I'm with you, though. I thought poison would be the thing that would kill us. That does seem to be the main conflict of the game, but now I find myself procrastinating to not die of heat exhaustion. I mean, it is kind of like my own real life, so. I do live in a very hot place now, so that wasn't a completely irrelevant comment. Let's see. We do have a lot of water now. Where is our water? Sand can be refined into glass. Now we start to get, like, industry going on. Ooh, nice. We don't have any more water left in there. They're just gathering the sand out. All right, I don't know what to say. Think faster, boys. Think faster. What are you doing? Why are you upset? You're upset because you have bad housing quality. You're upset about bad housing quality while everyone else is starving to death? I suppose I could go out on a limb here and get another berry gatherer, but that would be a real hit to my workflow. I think I'd rather just expand the village over there and maybe even set up a new village on that side. If I have to, but I want to minimize the transportation. All right, you know what, YOLO, I don't want to die. 54%, 58%, 49%, 58%. I feel as though it would have been higher at this location. 63%. Maybe I'm going to have to go over a berry bush. 58%, 67%. So far, that's the best one. 63%, 67%, 71%. I'll take that. I mean, we'll go over 4 berry bushes, so I don't love that, but it might just get them out of this horrible momentary conflict. All right, now we've got to get the feeding trebuchet. Prepare that. I don't want to spend too much time over here. This is just kind of like an emergency thing in case if we could totally run out of food, which is sort of happening right now. And let's also go ahead and get... let's get corn up. Stop growing beets. Grow corn instead here. Can we have some of that? Corn boy. Corn boy. Good. There goes the corn. There goes the corn. And I'm going to get another farm ready, too. I guess we should make... We don't really have any beet stuff going on. Polenta. All right, we'll have that. Third farm, and we'll need a third kitchen. This is what's troubling to me about this game, is that I keep needing to expand this crap when I just need, like, one more food. You see what I'm saying? Like, I just kind of want it to stay simple, and it doesn't. As I'm starting to see, though, as we go through more environments, but if you do kind of stay organized and keep your workflow going, it can work. It can work. The trebuchet. I will build... Actually, oh, yeah, we can build the trebuchet now. Anvoo kitchen. Okay, so we should get this going right now. Let's get it going next to this. Like, how about right there? And then we'll build some roads, smooth roads there. Good. Okay, so now they can bring things over to the kitchen. As I had planned, wood plank and stone slab. Good, so we've got, it appears to be enough of those. And then, so now they're going to go from the mycology department to the kitchen to hopefully we'll be able to put the trebuchet somewhere around here. And then we'll actually be able to feed Anvoo, because I'm a little more worried about Anvoo than our own hunger. Because this is getting very bad. We've got corn growing over here now, so we will keep growing beets in this section. But I'm going to put one guy on this. Just because it's not like ideal beet growing area. But we're growing out the infrastructure. We are. 99%. Look, everyone, a corn. Yes, nice. Polenta coming right up. And good, we're not starving to death. Good, so let's just worry about feeding Anvoo. Because we've got one guy here, let's just reduce the worker numbers. We really just need the mushrooms to go in there. Do we have... Bundle of mushrooms. Have we been able to store the mushrooms anywhere? Pantry. No, my word, we've not been able to store the mushrooms anywhere. 2D art style reminds me a little bit of... Oh yeah, I hadn't really thought of the don't starve influence, but yeah, I am getting kind of that don't starve. All right, good point, good point. Well met, well met. I think it'll be nice when we get a lot more nomads and we can just fill this whole area up. Let's send people over to this mine. Or this one's fast. Maybe we'll just do this quarry. If you really keep an eye on that scavenging, it'd be neat to do that all together. I've got 18 out of 20. Have we got the... Where is the other thing? There's still mushrooms over here, right? Yeah, look, we've got more bundles of mushrooms over here. I guess another thing we're going to do is just... Let's make sure we've got more carriers. Because... That seems like a pretty essential task, because look, this cook doesn't even go over to grab the mushrooms. He relies on carriers to do it. See if we can get maybe 4 carriers. Whoops, that was harvesters. Carriers. Wait a minute. I take that back. I thought that we could assign these individually. Yeah. Huh. Actually, I thought that system worked out differently. It would be nice if I could get a little bit more granular into this worker management system, because, like I said, it does feel like very generalized. Especially there aren't so many needs to fill, so it's not so, like, horrible what I'm going through there. But yeah, it's something that I'm thinking about a lot when I'm playing the game. But maybe that's because all of the colony management games I enjoy playing are very complex. Weather other than hot, like thunderstorms. We do get poison. I haven't seen that, though. Oh, it's being stored in my storage? Like this storage? Where is my fungus? Oh, you're right. Yeah, the mushrooms are being stored in there. Ah, okay. Yeah, it'd be nice if you could get into the weeds, because I do feel like that the village is very inefficient, just due to the fact that everything has kind of a one-size-fits-all answer, you know what I mean? Okay, but are the berries coming back? It's still arid. Nope. Nope, they're not. Alright. I'll just suffer in silence then. But good, we have one of these things. No, I know this might not look like a lot. It might look like a single gobstopper. Because now Anvoo's stomach is growing very loudly. Growling very loudly. But we are at 88% of the research. I think I've got a spot where I can just neum a trebuchet right here. And then we can feed him, and we can bring down his hunger by like 20% with one of those things. Hopefully they won't miss. That would be bad. That would be very bad. Let's get more cacti up. Was that a... I think one of his spikes changed location, if I'm not mistaken. More herbs, stacks of herbs. Got more of those things in storage. Yes, good. Okay, let's get a hut open so that the housing quality can improve. But here I'm going to just pause and let's get Anvoo feeding trebuchet. Oh, we barely had enough. Good enough. Good enough, right? Oh yeah, I am going to... Okay, destroy Anvoo's spikes. We're just going to have to destroy one of them because it's in the way of helping us feed him. We're going to help you, Anvoo. I think we'll have time because he's got 87%. You only just very nearly starved to death. It's okay. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is take all of the crap that we're making for Anvoo right here. Good, we've got a second one coming right up too. Now this will reestablish Anvoo's trust in us pretty fast after this. But watch what happens when we do this. We're going to get a message that we've... Anvoo grumbles unhappily as it feels its spike being torn out. So, yeah, I mean, not a very nice thing to do, but kind of the lesser of two evils. You know, we wanted to keep Anvoo alive, and my god, I haven't seen what happens when Anvoo just totally starves to death yet. Let's also send a party this. Ooh, a shrine, we need that. That's for knowledge. Oh, did we rip out spikes earlier and I didn't see? It's possible. I'm a pretty nice guy, but... Sometimes I go on a bad boy streak and I rip out people's spikes. Yeah. Okay, this is unfortunate that Anvoo has gone to sleep. I truly hope that Anvoo doesn't starve to death in sleep, because then I am somewhat in trouble. It appears that the sleepiness is decreasing at a pretty fast rate, though, because who could sleep when they're starving to death anyway? I'm going to save. Now, you do have save files. I might as well say that. Starving? A question mark? 1. Just so that we know it was the first one. There we go. Good. The trebuchet is ready. Now, Anvoo does need to be awake for this. We're going to load up the trebuchet. Have we got the food in there? I think it's either there or in material storage. Yeah, we've got 1 out of 30 in there. Show interactions, so we're going to... Not enough resources, not all animal conditions are met, so we got to wait until Anvoo wakes up. We put in the food. Anvoo is awake. Let's see if this updates in real time. Yes, it does. Decreases hunger by 20%. So this is a fantastic thing. We can pretty much totally take out Anvoo's hunger. And we get to feed this boy, which is just a nice animation and good. Hang on a second. Are they bringing it over? Yep, there goes the trebuchet person. Here we go. Get ready to launch it. Let's look at it from Anvoo's perspective. There it goes. Yeah. It's just very satisfying. I don't know what it is. Good, so 91, that should drop down to 71 in a second. Good, the digestion has occurred, 71%. Now let's look at it from the trebuchet's perspective. We gotta wait a little while this occurs. Let's go send out an expedition to the oasis, because why not? Ooh, settlement. Oh, cool, we could get more villagers. Let's do that, definitely. Our villagers are fairly happy people. Let's add another farmer to this farm. Okay, so we've got interactions. Let's feed Anvoo again. Let's see what it looks like from the trebuchets. Trebuchet. Oh, good. Ah, that's nice. The way that this game blends 2D and 3D is nice. Ooh, an AA Fable playthrough. Thank you for saying that. Fable and Bully are two of the games I wanted to play. I forgot about that. It's a very good idea. Be a shame if someone else were to play one of those games. Okay, do we have the berry people over here too? Now, this is okay as I see it. I mean, I don't want them to have to walk quite this far, but I'm also just like, I don't want to build all the road infrastructure out. Maybe I'll build a little bit of it out. Something like that. Make their lives a little bit easier out here. I do think that it's good to have that emergency berry storage, but I don't want to carve up, you know, everything. Still not producing. I think we've done splendidly well, but it's kind of like, I think you get the idea of the gameplay loop now. Like, it's kind of adapting to conditions that are constantly changing in this. It's a very visually pleasing game. Something that my one concern is, you know, those efficiency things and like, will I get as much replay value out of it? I'm trying to think of things that are like interesting challenges, if it's like as YouTubeable like that. Let's give Anvoo more food. We've got tons of food for Anvoo now. It's not so hard to keep Anvoo happy, except now Anvoo's health has gone down. I honestly can't tell why. Is that just because Anvoo is very hungry? Commit these nomads to us. We got 2 more nomads. Good. Very nice. Very nice. Good. We got more settlers. Oh, one of those was from our expedition. We got hungry and healthy people. All right. Yeah, I would like to be able to change the perspective. I think you're right on that. But it kind of complements the game's simplicity. I feel that. I feel that. Definitely not something that I would do day after day, but I think it's fun as a diversion. So, Anvoo. Anvoo, why are you sad, boy? Sleep command. I guess to me, it always is kind of surprising, like, what types of games people... hang on a second. What have we got going right now?
Been having trouble sleeping after the army, so I put your streams on at night to help. Keep up the good work, Calvin 28 Heart.
Hey, Calvin. Hey, thank you very much for the sub. Happy to hear that the streams are helping you sleep in some way, or whatever they help you with. And good luck sleeping better. Usually I just hug my big Anvoo pillow until I fall fast asleep. I was thinking about doing this. I was walking through a store the other day, and there were all of these like giant plush toys. I was thinking of what the e-girl streamers have in their rooms. You know, they have all of those large plush toys, and I just thought that's a very nice backdrop. See, I did used to use Facecam once upon a time, but I'm not an e-girl, so and it wasn't as inviting on the streams, so no one watched them. And now they've been much better because of that. But I was thinking maybe if I had a lot of plush toys of like a big smooth boy like this around me, well then that would be more eye-catching. But yeah, that's always been the problem with this stream. So, oh crap, we've got a lot of idle people. Hang on a second, we gotta figure out what the hell is going on. I think we could use more corn farmers. The corn is as high as an elephant's eye. Ever watch Oklahoma? Why aren't they harvesting these beets? I mean, get rid of the beets. If we're not having beets here, off with their heads. There we go. But they are very responsive, and I do appreciate that. We'll get the doctor first, because Anvoo is very upset. And I'm upset whenever Anvoo is upset. Anvoo food. Nyum, 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 nyum. There we go. He's the only one who doesn't make cringe chewing sounds. Isn't that very inviting and nice? Who is this? Oh, that's a tent. Never mind. Okay, let's have some huts now. Jabba the Hutt. Jabba the Hutt. It would be nice if you could rotate buildings, though. You know, we've chatted about this a little bit. I do think that would be nice. Let's see if we can get some more huts over here. I'm not sure if these huts are more stable. Anvoo was shaking his back all the time when I first played. I think it was because I didn't have as much trust. But I can't honestly figure it out. I'm assuming that would happen, though. Like, yeah, get off of me right now. Yes, maybe I should use the bikini and hot tub meta. That could work. It's a good point, Silver Dragon. Pizza the Hut. Man, what if Jabba and Pizza had like some sort of business agreement? I think they would both benefit splendidly from that. Now, we've been surviving really well in this desert, if I do say so myself. Let's go ahead and add yet another person on because our farming needs have grown. I think I could add in more plots here. Now I'm starting to see the utility of more plots, though. Add that on. I used to think, though, when I first started that you could just have tons and tons of plots everywhere, and my farmers just weren't getting to them. Maybe I'm maxing out these radii, though. But look at this, like, look at this distinguished gentleman. Look at the way this village is sitting. Very distinguished, right? Didn't you guys love that? What is that, a TikTok or a Vine? Look at this distinguished gentleman. That has to be one of my all-time favorites. Do we have a third kitchen, too? No, I don't think so. It would make way for the giant trunk, but let's get some kind of beet kitchen going for the future. I see beets in our future. Or we could just keep reprioritizing people back and forth. Now, so how is this working? Because clearly our farmers aren't working very hard here. I think we just need more people on water. Let's get a fourth cactus farmer. Also, too, do they need water to grow the cacti in the first place? Which would be a little bit counterintuitive. No, they just appear to go out to the plots. No water in hand. They just sort of phase cacti from out of existence here. Good, we've got only one idle boy now. Keep feeding Anvoo. I figure why not? Let's just make Anvoo completely happy. Anvoo seems to be recovering just slightly over time, which is nice to see. Like a little bit of regen wouldn't hurt. Lost a couple shrines for research. Oh, yeah, true. We should probably not pass up any shrines at all, come to think of it, because that's going to limit us. Oh, no. Oh, no. No. We did do one shrine, though. Got more nomads here. Oh, let's get some rocks. It does kind of switch. Okay, there we go. We've got another shrine. I wonder if we could do a second search party from here. I guess we could do a second scavenger hut if we wanted. We've been busy bees, though, in this village. Now, what does this sign mean? Missing resources. I think we might as well leave it like that. Let's get a one guy on that, though. We don't seem to need this tomb too much. And are we getting out of it? It appears as if we're escaping the arid climate, so hold on to your hat because we're going to have to swap out what people do. Because now, the huts also give they aren't just, like, more capacity. Although, for only 4 spaces, they hold 6 residents. Housing quality, too. These things are just way better in every way. We do need wood planks for them. Maybe I will keep people on these resources. And also, too, for anyone who's just a laborer, I haven't really designated any stuff, so let's just tell them to keep taking down trees. I don't see the point of just leaving these trees up. I mean, they do look good, but I'm also just kind of like, yeah, no use trying to save the environment up here. Like, there's plenty of environment down on the ground for us to go out and just... We're like pirates, sort of. It's kind of like running a pirate ship colony. Speaking of which, are you guys looking forward to Cursed Crew, the Oscar Pataki game, the guy who does the RimWorld mods? Oscar's a very nice guy. At least I've just like emailed him back and forth. Very, very nice gentleman, and I'm really excited for that game. I want to try that out when it comes out. Cursed Crew. He was doing a little thing on it a little while back. Decontaminator. Okay. I'm going to do this only because we're going into a toxic biome. Send a party over there. Oh, God. A thunderstorm. Okay, yeah, apparently this is a thing. Okay, we're going to be seeing what a thunderstorm does in a few moments. I didn't know that this could happen. That is unfortunate. Yeah, we are the environment. I don't know. I mean, it kind of has this Al Gore global warming tinge to the whole game. Like, it makes me feel oddly, like, motivated to, you know, hand out flyers to people. I don't know. I don't know what I want to do from it, but yeah, I want to do something. I want to do something. Right, so how much faster these boys walk on there? I don't really think they walk so much faster, to be completely honest with you. They're out on an expedition. It does, though. It feels a little bit like I'm keeping busy. You know what I mean? Oh, good. Anvoo is clearly healing, even without us using any doctor stuff. Ah, but here we go. We can do this. Send out workers to cure Anvoo of poison or heal it. Let's do this because we are heading into the poison area. I'm assuming we're just going to need the normal doctor medicine here. Put like a little bit of space for this thing, just in case if we need it. Encountered a group of nomads looking for a home. Here we go. Pick them up. I don't really see any reason not to have nomads. Now we've got poison people have joined the village. I'm going to activate the doctor. Activate Obamacare. Here we go. Nice. Nice. Feeling that. Feeling that. Are you feeling it? Are you feeling it, Anvoo? Yeah, he's a happy boy now. Okay, let's see, more of this. Really not too many more stones left on here. I think I'm just going to harvest the rest of your body. Here we go. It's kind of like the giving tree, you know? I hadn't really thought of that. It does. It kind of feels like playing a video game of the giving tree. Wow, what a outlandish simile. The Giving Tree. Man, I forgot about The Giving Tree. What a great classic American novel. I don't know who wrote it. Was it American? The rocks do regrow slowly. I think you're right. I think that the rocks do eventually come back. Like, I've noticed that they just sort of get pooped out of the ground, but it's not very fast. It's not very fast at all. Let's see, we get the shrine. It really looks like we're going between Scylla and Charybdis here, so I am kind of concerned. I guess we'll just keep sending parties out to the things that are very close. But, you know, you get a decent amount of visual variety and breakup, because I kind of felt like, are we just making this colony on this guy's back? But now it does feel like a big board game. Like taking part in that. Now, I forgot to really look closely at the villagers who were poisoned. And I've honestly struggled a little bit to just see this. Now, it looks like the corn is not ready, so let's take people off of corn. Or we could disable it, but I think I'm just going to take all the workers off of it. Cacti. Wait, what just happened? Thunderstorm sweeps over our village. Is that really the whole effect of the... Now, when the poison comes, you can't even see everything anymore, but... I guess that's the whole thunderstorm. All right. Cold snap coming up. It looks like we'll have a narrow window of opportunity in which to grow beets here. So let's just reassign everyone to the beet farm, because I think that's going to be the best option. Now, Anvoo is... no, this one wasn't Anvoo. This one was just the thunderstorm. Oh, and we've got something else coming? Stone cutting. Do we want cut stones? We already have a lot of those. Yeah, we came here for stones. I just want regular nice boy stones. There we go. I don't need those cut stones, just regular stones. We do have some hunger, I'm seeing, though. Do the trees sprout new trees? I shouldn't take them down. Oh, wait a minute. Is it... Actually, are you saying that it's a good idea to leave some of the trees up? In which case, to hell with them. To hell with them. Is there any way to mass cancel? Let's just test it out, just in case. Nope. Harvest trees, you could do that. Remove harvest task. We'll save some of the trees. Save the trees. Save the bees. Save the trees. Save the whales. Save those snails. In the words of George Carlin. Why the yellow trees? What's different about them? Oh, the mother trees, because the yellow trees are the mother trees. Of course, of course. How could I forget my own mother, who was a yellow tree? Don't some of them just randomly... They don't actually teach you, but... Really? They're the source trees? It doesn't... Now, the tutorial comes up gradually. The tutorial isn't like one of those tutorials that just tells you every possible piece of information. Unless if you get to them all. But I never got to this piece of information. Oh, wait, here it is, yeah. Still growing mother tree can already be harvested, but doesn't produce offspring yet. Ah, this is an important... I think I downed many mother trees. I hope that they grow back. I'll leave up these two. All right, never down those mother trees. Thank you for telling me that. I would never have seen that. I thought it was just purely cosmetic. Getting ready for Anvoo Doctor. Here we go. Do this. Open map. Give me more of this. I mean, it just seems very easy to get those scavenger workers out. Though they're always kind of at the edge of the colony. Ah, warehouse. That seems useful. The dung collector too, but maybe more so this. Okay, Decontaminator is going to be important, but can we see the map again? Now, unless... Okay, we are going through... Yep, we're doing it right now. Toxic spore cloud. Now, do we have to, like, wait for it to... Oh, so it will, like, gradually sweep across the land. I hadn't really encountered obstacles like this yet, where it's sort of like a momentary chance of it happening. That's interesting. 16 hours, 1 day, 13 hours. So let's just send them right through the spore cloud. I don't think they account for that. But yeah, I did have, like, the worst case scenario where he just went to bed in a spore cloud and my entire village was being poisoned. We did make it, but... Anvoo bile is fuel or biogas. I don't actually have any of that stuff yet. I think we need to get it from the doo-doo. I'll just put it over here near all the generic stuff where I don't fully understand it. Yet. Does the dino not need water? You mean the Dianosaur? Diana. Yeah, we call Anvoo Diana. Dianosaur. I don't think Anvoo needs water, no. Anvoo doesn't drink. Like a toad. Like a sage toad. Now, it is freezing. Do we have any cold weather crops? Beets do just okay in this. I think this is why it's been valuable to focus on berry growth. Because berries are just consistent. Like a lifelong friend, you know? My grandmother used to say that if you have a berry, just, like, quit your job, don't do anything, just, you have a berry, man. I'm just kidding, my grandmother never said that. My grandmother never said anything. Let's give everyone raised quality of life. Eventually we'll try to get rid of this stuff. I mean, I figure if we just get them enough... What the hell are these guys? Are they joining some kind of cult? Decontaminator? So where do they go and what do they do? I don't think we really need that many decontaminators. Anvoo bile and biogas. Let's have like one person be a decontaminator because this really isn't necessary most of the time. Though there are occasional like crisis moments where people will just... Oh, look at their animation. That's actually kind of badass. Sweet. Now, there are times when you need to get rid of a lot of poison stuff off of Anvoo's back. It can happen, so I want to just prepare you guys. Hey, whoa, I know, crazy, right? Looks like we're going to need another one of these things as well.
Now we have no more cookies to eat, said Toad sadly. Not even one. Yes, said Frog, but we have lots and lots of willpower. You may keep it all, Frog, said Toad. I am going home now to bake a cake.
You warm me. Triple G. Frog and Toad was, if you guys ever read Frog and Toad, we were just speaking of the Giving Tree. Frog and Toad is a children's story worth reading. It's like poetry. Who was that? Arnold Lobel that wrote Frog and... I want to say it was Arnold Lobel that wrote Frog and Toad. always wish I could use Frog and Toad for my YouTube, but they're well, they're clearly, very clearly not in the public domain. So maybe someday, though. Maybe someday. Frog and Toad are nice. Sorry, I got caught up on a tangent. Thank you for the 300 bits, Gonkos. Hope you're doing well, my friend. Ah, it is Arnold Lobel. I got it right. All right, wood. Wood. Good, good. Now we've got this thing going on. I suppose having more water tanks would be useful, and now we've got sort of our water center. Water Central over here. Wondering how many more buildings we've got to get up, though. Let me just see. Is everything more or less, like, good? I keep finding myself going back to this scavenger map, because I really did underuse this the last time. Let's go over to a ruined settlement. We might as well not waste these guys' time. Where are we at now? Open map. Man, they go through so fast because time goes by so, well, quickly in this case. Oh, do we even have a beat kitchen? No, we don't even have a beat kitchen. I stand corrected. Like, it's crazy to me that we need 3 kitchens, though, just to make whatever we... You know what I'm saying? Like, and who knows how many other food types there will be. There we go. Okay, an event. Pick up some more... Ah, darn it. Whoops. There we go. Hungry people. There we go. That was from the ruined settlement. Yeah, we could really just gather all of our resources from these areas. Might as well just get more wood. We could use it. I'm going to have a big sip of water. 100% production speed. Cold, normal, medium. Anvoo is getting a little bit of toxicity. He's been playing a bit too much League of Legends lately, and he's just been horrible to his teammates. Anvoo's standing air toxicity would apply, currently none. It's because he's lying down. Oh, I didn't realize that we have this kind of ground versus air toxicity thing going on. Okay, well, I mean, he's not the jungler, and no one's blaming him for kill stealing, so I think for right now he should be good. He's just got to keep laying low. However, I mean, I guess for me, like, what was it? Oh, I forgot to mention my entire goal of this playthrough at the beginning, sleep command. This would be an interesting. We also need 1 knowledge to research it, but I think I'm just going to do dung collector because I do want his dung to grow our crops more. I mean, the main thing I wanted to say is I just felt like this is very much like a survival colony manager, so that's something to consider if you're interested in this, like if that's something that seems interesting to you. I mean, I thought we would build up a village for this entire stream and gain Anvoo's trust a bit. The one thing I haven't been able to find in the UI is I can't figure out where I get like an actual stat that shows Anvoo's trust. Beats by Dre. Like when we were back in the lab with a pen and the pad trying to get this damn label off. In the words of Dre himself. Was that Dre or Eminem? Hey, Royale with Cheese, what's up, my friend? How are you doing? Hope your streamer friend and YouTuber friend Royale with Cheese TV online, everybody. Everybody say hi to Cheese. How you doing, my friend? Where was I, though? Anvoo's trust. I can't really find... Where is Anvoo's trust, though? Sir Bebop, thank you very much for the sub. Hey, and my other concern, you know, I've voiced a few things because, you know, I'm a gamer and I voice these things, but I'm also kind of wondering, like, I do feel slightly grindy with some of these things after a while, and I do love the art style, and I've kind of harped on that for a lot, but I'm also like, maybe it's just because I really like combat, and I'm wondering if there's going to be any moment here where I really get satisfaction, you know, like impale someone. Though maybe that's just to say that I enjoy combat in games. I would say that the Toxic event can be interesting. Doing great. Hey, that's good to hear, man. The Toxic event can be somewhat, like, violent and cathartic. But I don't know, like, We've got over 1,100 people in stream right now. So what are some... Let's get some, like, academic thoughts about this game in chat so that we can, you know, try to be like PC Gamer or, I don't know, something like that. It stores various materials. Where do I find them going to and from a lot? It'd also be nice if I could rotate some of these things. Yeah, like, some of it feels a little bit basic, I guess is what I'm trying to say. In some ways, it feels basic. That's a spot. Game is beautiful and relaxing. And when can I murder? Yeah, I suppose that's fair. Maybe I'm just a violent person. But not to be confused with a man of violence. Isn't that for a line from a movie or something? Advance fast in this game that I did. Maybe it's also just because I'm good at it. I don't know. I think I'd played this for about 2 hours before I started streaming it, so I didn't really feel... I thought we would have all died by now. I pretty much go into every one of these streams prepared for the entire colony to die in a horrible and embarrassing way. But yeah, not being able to rotate anything. It does feel like a little bit flat in that way. Like, it's beautiful, but it feels a bit, I don't know, static at times, I guess is what I would say. I really liked being able to kind of customize the challenge to fit whatever. That's why I would do a video on the main channel. I consider that. What about certain groups having passions in certain fields, like the villagers? I suppose that would be interesting. Pretty much, like, you could assign or de-assign anybody to Anvoo Doctor. We actually don't need people to be Anvoo's doctor right now. Anvoo has healthcare. He has good benefits. Waiting on the zombie outbreak. 3 directions in the intersections. Oh, yes. Actually, also, too, did I do this? There is... I want to say, is there a Twitch integration for this game? I want to say that there is. But I'm not entirely certain. And the last time I tried to do this near release, it was with a totally different game, so this says nothing about the current game. But I always feel a little weird trying to do a Twitch integration shortly after release, because frequently there are... As in any game dev cycle. Oh, look, Anvoo's munching. What are you eating? Oh, there is? Oh, I'm going to have to check it out. I haven't used it at all, so I'm not going to test it right here. Otherwise, it'll turn into amateur hour at the circus. But, yeah. Good to know that that is there. It seems like the type of thing that would dispose itself nicely to voting. 2 animation with low frame rate is unique and nostalgic, which is A+. Yeah, I think that maybe this art style is the thing that is the most beautiful and characteristic about the game to me. I'm going to also point out one thing that I think is beautiful visually is the fact that you get this, like, 2.5D background that's going by on Anvoo's back. I haven't seen a game with a camera that was this interesting in a while. Like, just to sit back and zoom out. Like a very de-stressing type of game in that way, I suppose is what I'm trying to say. My poison levels are lowered by playing it. I think the only other things that I don't really understand here, like I said, I couldn't find the stress. What is this thing? This is my research. Cold snap. Ooh, snow. Very beautiful. I don't really get the heart rate, BPM, like, is he gonna die? This is all the game stuff. I think that's the one thing I couldn't find, but yeah, this is quite a helpful menu over here. Many of my villages are poisoned. Wait a moment. When did this happen? Why? Oh, probably because we're in a cold snap. Wait a minute. How did I not notice this? Sawmill. Okay, wait, I really want this. Yes, I really wanted the sawmill so that we could take out these giant trunks out of the way. Where is Anvoo going? I honestly don't know. I thought we were, like, headed for some destination. But I think the idea is to just keep going forever. Unless is there a final destination? Heart rate is relevant when you tap into Anvoo's heart to extract blood. What the hell? Is some sort of vampire simulator. Okay, alright. I buy it. We got beat production going again. Barry Muesley. Barry Muesley. I think I'll just leave that. Hey, no, you stop working there. We need you to do other things. Open map. It would also be nice if you could queue these orders, too. Tasty looking stones. Oh, here we go. Knowledge. That away. Because sometimes these scavengers just don't really, like... No party available. Oh, but we need only one guy to go there? Okay, we've got some more nomads coming up. Some of it does feel a little bit like a chore in that way. And it could be very easily fixed with just some slight changes, like being able to queue those things, in my opinion. Damp. Pick them up. I've pretty much always got in these new nomads, too. Alright, is everyone not poisoned anymore? The doctors are going out. They're making house calls. Anvoo doctor. Oh, so you're trying to get the medicine. Bring it back here. 13 out of 15. Why are they stealing everybody else's medicine? Why are they using Anvoo medicine on people? That might raise some ethical questions. Extract blood from... becomes vampire survivors in the villagers. I wouldn't be surprised if this game had a vampire twist at the end, to be fair. Find the soundtrack to be nice. Slightly, it gets a little bit repetitive now. But actually, we had some RimWorld vibes before, so... Collects dung from Anvoo, which can be used to produce biogas and fertilizer. We might as well build this near, I'm guessing, the bud, of course, right? Yeah, he doesn't poop out of his face. Okay, there we go. All right, the bud, of course. Here we are at the bud, of course. There we go. Good. We'll put that by the other thing, the berries and the dung. Hopefully that won't cause massive food poisoning and a population downward spiral. 29%. Now, I'm really excited to get rid of these goddamn trunks. I really hate the trunks. They're just... I mean, they make me wax poetic. They're beautiful and scenic, but at the same time, they're in the way of everything. Queue up research if you go into the tree. Oh, how now? Wait a minute, you can? Oh, I'll be damned, you're right. I wish I had seen that before. No, you can't do that, but... Oh, so you can do this. So... Okay, so you can... It seems to me that you can queue things down one tree. But you can't queue, like, do this, then this, then this, unless if I'm doing it wrong. I don't know, those are just some basic quality of life things I would think would add to the game, in my opinion. I don't really intend to do this all the time, but I can't help but think of them now that I've played, like, RimWorld with mods, which is probably one of the most, like, efficient gaming experiences. I have no idea. I can't imagine what it's like trying to manage all the memory and the processing and stuff like that. Okay, here we go. We're going through a lightly poisoned cloud. We won't really get the full chaotic experience that I'm dreaming of, but let's watch what happens. So it does visually blot out the sun in many ways, and yep, it makes it hard to see your own village. Now here comes the exorcist to everyone's house. Here we go. Doesn't actually have anything to exorcise people with. Are we getting the poison plants yet? I really want you to see this. I hope you get a chance to see it. Now we're building the bile collector. Shadow mechanic where you can guide Anvoo if you have a certain amount of trust. It would be nice. Yeah, we didn't really get a good amount of poison. I'm upset that we didn't... Like, Anvoo went to sleep in the middle of a poison forest when I was playtesting this on my own. It was horrifying. I thought it was the end of the world. But, nay, it was not. Nay. A little anticlimactic, honestly. Okay, wait, is this it? Yep, this is it. Okay, so you gotta be very careful with poison plants. Alright, we've got them. Yep, we got them. I'm gonna go ahead and have to just harvest all of these things. Now, they do automatically, like, harvest each other if you do this. I'm gonna have to up the priority on these, though, too. They can poison the trees. Now, the Decontaminator will work, but I don't think I have the fire stuff to just get auto burn going. I think I need to collect that from Anvoo's dung, which is a little unusual, but at the same time, I'm going to go ahead and up the priority on these. Let's just go over here, and I'll do that and that, because I really need these things taken out fast, because otherwise you can get a huge poison forest that spreads, which can actually look kind of cool, but obviously that is not such a good thing to have in your village. Now, this part is difficult because it's like you need to visually spot all of the poison, and I haven't figured out a way to just automatically do it other than that. This thing, the Decontaminator, which, again, how are we making this? Processed in the laboratory or used as fuel by decontaminators. Well, let's just see if they go out and take these things out. But, I mean, again, you can just take them out as per normal with all your villagers. Good, we've got this thing. And also, too, whenever they split off, it auto-designates them, so we don't have that kind of auto-cut blight RimWorld nightmare going on, which was a thought of mine. Oh, you can queue different research trees by... You have to hold down shift and click? Oh, I'll be damned. Yeah, you can. Okay, well, that's good to know. Huh. I'm a moron. How do I de-designate these things? Okay, we just hold down shift again. Okay, that is good to know. Okay, so I take it back. You can do it. I just wasn't holding down shift. Would be nice if it said that somewhere, but... Yep. All right. I just needed to experiment a little bit more. Thank you for saying that. I'm glad that you said that so that I didn't look like an idiot and just say that nonetheless. All right. Warehouse. Or Stone Road. I think it would be useful if they could actually walk quickly on these things. Wait, does it say it in the top left? It's so funny that it does that. What are you talking about? No. Nope, I have poor reading comprehension, that's all. Well, I've made an idiot of myself. I think that was the only quality of life thing. But if there are, then feel free to comment on this if it's the VOD, so that other people can be freed of my smooth-brainedness. Thank you. Yeah, you saw nothing. You saw nothing. I do feel bad about that. I mean, sometimes when it's not totally clear, it's like it's there, but yeah. That one was there. Fair enough. All right, where are we at now? It's getting humid. It's getting humid, so we're getting a lot of this. Good, we're at 150% production speed. That's nice. Are they making enough? I can't believe that they're feeding an entire village with just these 3 or 4 things of beets. Jesus. Yeah, let's go ahead and open the map up. We've got, what was this, more dung? I think this was dung. I want to say dung. They can really harvest a lot, though, these two guys. Good, we're going to sleep. Maybe I can start to command Anvoo. Let's see if we can get to a point where we can give Anvoo the command to run or something like that. Oh, good, we're collecting the poop now. Nothing I esteem more than a big fat dinosaur's poop. Here we go. It looks like our doctors aren't really working very hard, so I'm going to fire 2 of them. I'll leave 1 just because I don't want to think too much about it, and I think I have enough villagers now in excess that this isn't going to be a concern. Let's do this, and we'll start to get some more, well, let's go up and get some huts, shall we? There we go. Now we do have, I'll go ahead and say something I like about the controls. You've got some good shift clicking going on here. All that nice quality of life stuff is going on. So you can get your best colony made. Be your best self, you know what I mean? There we go. There's a lot of good houses in there. And it does kind of start to look like very gritty. Scavenging party returned. They brought back 11 wood. And map again. Poison. I wonder if we could get anything out of the poison forest. Let's just give it a try. I haven't done it yet. Maybe they'll bring back a disease. That could be a good time for all. Oh, and we've also got that harvester now, right? Or what was that thing we were trying to research? Bile extractor. Yeah, so we must have it. Stonecutter, carpenter, dung collector. Wasn't there another thing, though, that I was getting? Decontaminator, herbalist. What was the item? Oh, wait a second. I just totally lost track of it. Guys, I just had it in mind. What am I doing with my life? Resources. It was the sawmill, of course. Oh, current sawmill. Okay, so we're at 98% with that. Good. I would like to see what this does. Extractor, it lowers Anvoo's trust in me and hurts him. So wait, the dung collector. Why would he trust me less? What kind of extractor? Oh, do you mean the blood extractor? No, I haven't used that at all. Oh, the bile extractor. Where is the bile extractor? Wait, did I already build that? I'm taking very good care of him. Please don't call child services. Or who would they call for a giant? I guess like animal control or something. Dung collector. I don't think I have that. Yeah, we're fine. All right, let's build this here so we can get that out of the way. Yeah, PETA. They'd probably call PETA or something. Now, I'm wondering if we just have to live with Anvoo's spikes. Or we could, like, you know, take out a spike, then feed him. Then take out a spike and then feed him. And keep doing that. Might work. They didn't really seem to get too much. Let's try another one. Takes only an hour. 60%, 70%. And, oh, they got herbs from the forest. Okay, all right. Or herbs, if you like to pronounce your H's. Okay, look at this. They're mining. And they call it a stump. A stump. A mine. 2 idle. Good, we've even got idle villagers. Getting good feedback on that. I feel like that people are actually doing their work in this village. Why are you just standing there, you slob? Alright, back down to 2. At least they're getting lots and lots of wood out of this thing. Now, have the rocks reproduced? As you may know, when 2 rocks love each other very much, a stork will deliver a smaller rock to them. And then when that rock grows up, if it loves another rock very, very much, just more storks will continue delivering rocks to the rocks. And that's how rocks are made. When they love each other very much. Village. I must say, though, I feel a little silly building these villages when I know that there's a better thing on the way. Though Anvoo's so far not shaking us off. The rocks smash one another, yes. Not appropriate. Not appropriate. I'm good. Are they actually getting the wood out of this thing? I think I'm good. I'm trying to decide on like a longer term goal, though. It does a little bit feel like just survival from this point. I feel like I've set up my colony. I'm trying to figure out like what is the next thing to develop on. I suppose that it would be nice if we were researching a little bit faster, because it seems to me as if they have plenty of food. So let's see if we can up the research speed, if that's available. Researching new buildings and technologies. Yes, science. So let's have that. See if that works out. More nomads? Yeah, hell yeah. Poisoned people. Fun. What about the rocks and boulders? You know what they say about the birds and the bees? The rocks and the boulders, it's all the same. It's all the same. How long before we start a game-breaking psychoid farm? I don't know, but I'm starting to enjoy the amount of foot traffic, though. Like I said, a very visually appealing game. But one that I do feel like... trying to decide how... It's always hard for me to decide how I would feel about a game if I didn't make videos on games for a living now. Which is a bizarre sentence to say. Like, if I were just a guy in a house... Like, would I find this as relaxing? Because there are some games that I find very relaxing to play, but sometimes I do get some stress. Like, maybe it's because I've mained colony managers. But I do still like sitting down with some from time to time and just, like, giving out a great big howl and seeing what I can build in them. You know what I mean? Let's go feed Anvoo again. Let's see if we can start to give Anvoo a command. Maybe because Anvoo will trust us more. So now, preparing the meal. We're preparing the cannon. Good. Prepare the cannon. Launch the food in. There we go. Okay, so we're going through some sort of storm. Animal doctor. All Anvoo doctor are disabled. Anvoo appears to be just about completely fine to me. We do need to depoison Anvoo a little bit, though. Let's see if we can get that going. Anvoo doctor. Reactivate. Show interactions. Antidote. Reduce the poison level. Okay. Or cure the wounds. Oh, let's see if we can get that going. Yes, look, there they go delivering the herbs. Antidote. That should take down... I wonder what they do. So they don't really feed him. They just sort of... Oh, wait, no, they do. They send over a hot air balloon. And then it goes back. And they put in some, like, eye drops that depoison him, I guess. Or something like that. All right, very nice to see them doing that with those eye drops. I guess we'll let them deliver the rest of the medicine, and then we'll disable that building. We don't really need it all the time. Yeah, there is a good bit of disabling going on here, though. Hey, Anger Management 00. Thank you very much for gifting those 5 subs to those 5 lucky viewers at home. Hey, thank you very much, Anger Management. I think it's very important to have that under control, too. Thank you. Actually, no cap. No cap, you know. I've been trying to fit in with the Gen Z here now. No cap. Hey, look, the mother tree is... Why do I feel like slightly like motherland when I say mother tree? The mother trees have reproduced. What about the father trees? Where were the father trees? Okay, we're not going down this line any further. Top Hopper and Roarnix, thank you very much for the subs. Anger Management, you're really too kind. Thank you, Anger Management. More like Happiness Management. I go to a Happiness Management doctor because I'm just so glad. They don't even know what to do with me anymore. One might say I've been institutionalized. I don't know where I'm going with this. Never really have I known. Thunderstorm. Back to the game. The Oasis seemed to be yielding good results. Though we really do need some stones. We could use that. It's good when we had that. I'm feeling as though that they're getting very efficient though now. Okay, you're going to sleep here. We're in currently the middle of a storm. Or a cold snap, rather. So this is a time when I would be like, Anvoo, GTFO. Anvoo doesn't trust my commands with a great big toot. See, this is where I'm like... Hang on a second, what is that? This is my expedition? Okay. Where on the screen does it show me how much Anvoo trusts me? Because I think I've been pretty good. I saved him from death. Hang on a second, I gotta get this. Yeah, let's just grab some stones and leave. That's good. Signposts. I still think, well, he should have trusted me enough to get out of the cold boy place. Because look, now everyone's suffering immensely from him. Will I ever play Caves of Cut? Actually, Caves of Cut is one of those games that's on my to-do list, but it keeps coming up with new simulation and roguelikes over the fall. Fall usually tends to be a time where people release a lot of games. They're ready by Christmas, and then everything goes on sale, so... Covering a lot of stuff right now, but when there is a lull, yeah, we'll go back to Caves of Cud. I like that game. Look at Anvoo's behavior. Okay, so maybe like that will tell us more of his... Like, he hasn't shaken his back, so I think he trusts me more than in the first playthrough. But not really getting a full sign. I do kind of like that black box effect, though, where, like, you can't perfectly figure out what's going on, so that would actually be okay if that were in this. I'm not saying that all these things... I've been very picky, and I apologize for that. But yeah, I was just wondering if it was something that was obviously there and I wasn't seeing. I know, but he can sleep, but he can hug himself, is what I'm trying to say. Just why sleep here when he could sleep right there? It's like 2 feet away, and then... Or he could have slept before the cold snap, but now we're all suffering immensely. This is like Fyodor Dostoevsky's The Grand Inquisitor. It's unexpiated tears, man. There's something wrong here. Something very wrong. Let's see. I guess we'll get iron because we haven't really needed it. We don't want to go too far. There we go. What else have we got going? Okay, so now we've got the second research boy going. I haven't really noticed the speed of research increase by that much, but I guess I'll leave 2 on it. 74, 75. Oh, scientist 4. Nope, we are doing it. Okay, so scientist 140% efficiency. What happens if I disable this? Oh, that's very interesting. Okay, I actually kind of like that. Yeah, that's fair. So basically, like, getting one more... Well, what happens if I take 1 away? Okay, so your first research place is like 100%. But then if you try to double the number of scientists, that gives you only 40%. So you get decreasing marginal returns to more researchers by the number of places. It seems to me. Unless if we get another 40% from this, then it just stays the same. But that is... Honestly, that's kind of like how science really works IRL, don't you think? Like scientific research, scientific progress. There we go. Nice boy. Nice boy. It's like stopping for a meal in Pokemon. You ever want to do that in the Pokemon games? You want to just like hang out with your Pokemon? I always kind of wanted to hang out with my Pokemon. Feed him then... Oh, wait. So you think it's like a localized thing? Like now he'll be happy? Okay, run, Anvoo. Accepts my command! Yes! Hell yeah! I don't know. There isn't much reason to have him running right now. But we have gained the trust of the giant monster. Okay, walk again, that's fine. We don't need to really get that far. I just wanted to see if you would do what I wanted you to. I was testing you. Now, another thing I should have said is, I probably should have thought this through a bit more. I mean, he did go the way I wanted him to, so it's fine. But another thing that we can do is influence Anvoo to travel north or south. So I suppose we could have done that there. Good to see that, though. We get the boulders for these. I think I value that more than the sleep, so I'll do that. Okay. What's cooking? Good looking. I mean, Anvoo. I like Anvoo. Anvoo's a thick boy. You guys like thick boy? Don't answer that, chat. I know you do, though. Can he do any tricks, make him roll over? That'd be kind of neat to see, because you do get a good... Well, now I'm just going to kind of explore some stuff. You do get a good look at, you know, that thick rear end, that thick posterior, and look at this. But I think it'd be neat if people came up and, like, tried to raid you from his back. I mean, think about, like, Dyson's Sphere program. That game added in combat, and sheesh. Now I want to check that game out again. That one takes quite a while to sit down with. It'd be kind of neat though, because I like what this game currently is and what it can be. And I don't know. I'm pro the Wandering Village. I like it, even though that I've pointed out some things I don't like. Now we get the berry activation going right here. Or the beets. We have the beets over there, and then we bring them into the kitchen. Now I think I will put on a second cook. That's good. Yeah, it'd be nice if he could do a barrel roll, though. But let's, like, kind of look at what our villagers do. So they don't really have tons of personality, but they have a lot of jobs, and they have a lot of, like, clothing variety. The one thing I think would be nice is, can I get... You do get this look at, like, how many people are carriers, how many people are builders, harvesters. I suppose I'm going to need to build another one of these worker posts. Yep, if I want to designate exactly how many of other professions there are. Which is a bit funny because it still says there are 0 idle. Like, they do self-assign in their tasks, but it's a little hard to figure out, like, you know in RimWorld how you can get on that one screen exactly how many people will do mining if they have leftover time? Yeah, sometimes I feel like having some screen like that would be helpful. I'm okay with not having the full information on Anvoo, because I think that's interesting. We got arid climate again. Okay, so now we've got to do this. Or it'd be interesting if you could get a building to say, like, activate only when, like, we're in an arid climate, or stop working when we're not in an arid climate. I think that would be interesting. But maybe that's automating too much. Whoops. Polenta. Let's get another cook on that. So we just had to switch everything over because it appears as if we're in a desert again. And we were kind of well adapted to the desert. So now we can just do this. Open the map. Oh, cool. Anvoo's actually fallen asleep in a great spot here. So now we can go on these expeditions. Forming expedition party. Okay, all right, I'll allow it. There we go. They get done with that super fast, and they should probably get an event here. Brought back 36 water. What a fast way to get water, though. There we go. Knowledge. I do wonder if there's, like, kind of a more ultimate goal, though. You know what I mean? Okay, Stone Road. Yes, of course, it must be Stone Roads. The famous Civil War general, Stone Road Jackson. Or was that the Revolution? I don't remember who was it. Stone Road Jackson. Yes, of course, he's a historical figure. Look him up on Wikipedia in the article that I made up. Of course, I'm being facetious. But wouldn't that be funny, though? Compost dung to create compost. What an excellent sentence. Used as fertizer, or biogas, used as fuel by decontaminators. So this was useful. Let's put this over back here by, well, the poop. I don't know if I really want them walking quite that far. Well, I don't want them walking super far, but we also get dung from over there. We'll just put it somewhere like here. And that's fine. Okay, let's see how fast these people are walking now on this. Yes, I'm beginning to appreciate how fast they're walking. Now, do they build this out of... What do they need for this? They do actually need the full stone slabs for this. Okay, so this is going to make our lives vastly better, I'm assuming. Let's do this path, because everyone seems to be traveling it, like, constantly. And also to here, because now we're entering the dry season. I do kind of enjoy the seasonal management, though. It's like, oddly timely at this time of year. Pet Anvoo. Oh, nice boy. Nice, smooth boy. Yes, I'll pet him. We've got like a slightly different look to it now. Oh, look, he's just... He's like in... He thinks he's in the Rebecca Black video, you know? He looks like one of the kids. It's Friday, Friday, you know? He's having a great time. Anvoo looks so sing-songy and glad. Yeah, let's pet this boy. We have 19%. Okay, good. They are researching this very fast. Petting Anvoo is fortunately not such a complicated thing to do, but how would they pet him? I mean, I guess are they going to get into the hot air balloon and, like, boop his nose? Yes, compost to get compost. Let's check on this. Compost. So the compost can be used in... this is... I'm trying to wrap my head around this. So we go from compost heap to compost, and then how do we get the other crap out of it? You know, pun intended. Oh, crap. We lost all of our roads. Probably not the smartest thing I've done. You know what, Anvoo, since you trust me so much, like maybe a bit too much right now, I'm cutting off your spikes. Because the rocks just aren't reproducing fast enough. How do we find ourselves in these situations? Let's also see if we can just get our... It's not a boulder. There we go. It's a rock, of course. Of course it is. Maybe we'll just take down one of your spikes, because I don't want you to be... I don't know if this is going to yield, like, some kind of horrible distrust in me. So I don't want to do too many of them. Maybe just one. But yeah, this is clearly not my best decision making to change everything to a road right now. The polenta's coming. Pet every ant. Well, we're 70% of the way to pet it booping his nose. This reminds me of the YouTube animal petting rabbit hole. I don't know why. I spend a lot of time on YouTube. Probably because I make videos on it. But anyway, there's this huge rabbit hole on YouTube where it's just like videos of people petting animals. Like, this cat had no one to pet her, so she found, like, the best person. And it, like, it's a... I don't know why. It's just very captivating. I feel like it preys on my emotions, though, when I'm, like, in kind of doom scrolling mode. Or not doom scrolling mode, but just mindlessly scrolling mode. So I've tried to tell YouTube that I'm not interested in these videos because I feel like I'm... I feel like I'm being marketed to when I watch them. But anyway, I don't know, maybe I'm doing that with you with Anvoo right now, so I do apologize if you feel like I'm psychologically manipulating you into watching this stream. Yeah, maybe not doom scrolling, maybe that's the wrong word. I recently just heard someone say doom scrolling recently, so I wanted to use it. Man, look at how fruitful and nice our farms are. Okay, now I think we can start to pet this boy. Laxative. How do we pet this boy? Can we maybe do it from the trebuchet? No? Probably not. I should have thought of that. Open sleep command. Anvoo. Anvoo. Pet Anvoo to increase its trust in you. What does it say? I guess we do that at the doctor? See if we try that at the interactions. Anvoo doctor. Activate. Show interactions. Pet Anvoo, yes. Free to pet Anvoo. Preparing for the petting. Okay, so I guess we'll get like some big hand that emerges from here. Preparing. Okay, they're getting out of the... Yes, it was in fact a hot air balloon. There they go. Away and toward the face. See if we can just keep it on this camera. Yeah, we can see it there, but I want to... Oh. Oh, look, they're... Yep, they're going to boop him. Oh, he loves getting booped on the head. They're literally landing on his head. Oh, no, he's rejecting the petting. Maybe he's... Did you enjoy it? No, he's squirming with pleasure at being booped on the snoot. Wow. Now that explains the hot air balloon. Oh, that's... I should have seen that before, yeah. It'd be weird if your dog came for like a house call. He just arrived at your house in a hot air balloon. Like, well, there was a worldwide pandemic, so we had to get around somehow. Hot air balloon was all we had available. Of course. It's the only way of transportation. Whatever. I don't know, my imagination is going weird places during this stream. How's everyone doing? Ah, the sawmill. Nothing to gather. Is that so, actually? Anvoo's making a sound. Anvoo sits. Okay. Unaffected by poison. Anvoo is being very agreeable for this entire playthrough. Now, here's what I'm thinking is that every time that we want to take down a trunk, we're going to have to construct a new sawmill next to it. That's a little bit bizarre, but I'm okay with it, I guess. Yeah, we just got to deconstruct because it doesn't seem to be... I mean, assigning more people. Okay, all right. I'm okay with that. Little things like that, you know. I'm a whiner. The quarry. Oh, this is interesting. Okay, this does light up how you're supposed to use it. So basically, yeah, it has to be adjacent to one of these large, imposing structures. I wonder if there's a way then also, too, to get the spikes off of him, like, kind of like, you know, like removing a tooth or something like that. You know, in a way that would be non-invasive and, like, loving. Yeah. Because I am starting to, well, care about Anvoo very deeply. I'm going to leave the mother trees on his back. Because he needs a mom. Yeah, maybe you could get like a second Anvoo. Like Onduo. And then you would go back and forth between their backs. Or you could find another village and it would be like the Mumakil from Lord of the Rings and you'd fight each other from on top of their backs. That would be interesting. I don't know, I just keep dreaming of how to add combat to every game though too. Maybe that's not healthy. What have we got here? Farms and stuff. Hot. Is there anything that's like going to immediately kill us? No, but we could feed him again. Let's keep doing that. Anvoo food. Constipator to make him constipated. I don't know why we'd want to do that. Okay. Anvoo's not a very sleepy boy. But now at this point, here's how I feel. Like, we've done a lot of progress. I thought we would have had to do way more. Let's see how much further the research goes. I'll take wheat harvesting. That seems like a good long-term type of thing. I kind of want to figure out how much more like research is there to do with Anvoo. Feeding pump. Liquid. All right, what do we feed him, like glass or something? Think of the size of the gun we could fit onto Anvoo. Yeah, he would be like one of those things at the end of Star Wars that has the cannon on its back, right? Or what was that movie? Maybe it wasn't Star Wars. Inject Anvoo with various substances. That sounds like a good time. We've got a laboratory. This is mostly just for like... Okay, so medicine, but also toxic. Okay, a forester. That sounds kind of interesting. Or black pudding. From Anvoo blood in the kitchen. Now, I don't really want to do this because I don't want to upset Anvoo. I don't see how I would do that. Tree nursery seems kind of interesting. But again, like, we haven't really needed trees. I feel like we've had plenty with these things. I feel like a lot of these kind of late game things just give us more of what we already have. Deep quarry. Yeah, I don't want to hurt Anvoo's feelings. And also, too, like, what do we have? Scout tower? So we could just slightly increase the world map. We got the stone road. Cottage, I don't really even feel like we need because we haven't made him distrust us. Or mistrust us. The wheat into flour. But I feel like a lot of these technologies, like, we're already pretty well set on. So, strangely, although it could be nice, you know, and I feel like we could expand out this village onto his back and maybe get more nomads.
Your videos have been a constant companion of mine during long.
We have the male TTS voice.
Much appreciated, brother. Keep it up.
Hey, thank you very much. Very serious sounding donation voice from Agent Val. Agent Val, thank you very much for the $3. I forgot that I had made the actual dollars and cents donation sound male, and occasionally it does make me afraid that someone has broken into my house and is speaking behind me. But I appreciate the slight scare that I had there. Thank you very much. Yeah, he's like an ATTE or an ATAT from Star Wars. Maybe that. Yeah. I'm in your walls. I mean, I read at the beginning of the game, like, we're trying to get to some place where we could actually sit. Like, rather than having to be... It doesn't seem like the ideal quality of life would be riding on a giant monster's back. I mean, this isn't anime, guys. This is real life. Clearly, this game isn't an anime. Look at their face. Well, it might be an anime. It's more like kind of Curious George vibes that I'm getting. Also with beautiful animation. Slightly getting some Cuphead vibes there. But yeah, I feel like that I've kind of hit my goal for this. You know? I guess we could just keep going through biomes. Let's see if we could influence him a little bit. Alright. North or south? Actually, I'm going to decide that for you. I like green. Let's go south. Try to influence him. Anvoo accepts my command. Good. He's a smooth boy. Look at him. He's like, oh, I have a friend on my back. They might extract my blood and take things out of me, but they're not because they are conscientious. We're just going to keep booping this boy. Booping him. I wonder if we could feed him at the same time as we pet him. Boop him and oh my god, just maximum physical pleasure to be fed and booped on the snoot at once. Oh my god. Yes, and he did what we asked him to. Does he have a choice? He could reject my commands. I haven't really had anything that would make him completely reject me yet. And honestly, this time is going way better with Anvoo than it did the last time. Anvoo didn't really trust me the first playthrough, I learned. But I feel as though that's a pretty good place to stop. I feel like I've given you guys a good taste of the game. I'm kind of curious to see like how playthroughs would be different, or like where there is kind of more sandbox, because this game is deemed a sandbox. I feel like I could keep going back on harder and harder difficulties, because I thought I would struggle here on normal difficulty, but clearly I think I need to be playing the game on hard in order to get like that satisfaction of catharsis. But I don't know. I like it. I think it's a very beautiful game, unlike anything that I've seen. And the devs were very responsive in emails too, so that's always a nice thing to say. It's not always easy to get a hold of people. But yeah, I don't know. Smooth boy playthrough. It was a good time. I enjoyed the Wandering Village. And I'll be kind of curious to see what other people have to do with it. Maybe I'm not seeing everything, or maybe I put out other features. I believe he's an insect because of the 6 legs. So to kind of clarify, not a whale, not a tortoise, but probably that. Probably that. All right, everyone. I think I'm going to send you the way of another streamer.